What if your memories weren't just your own? What if from the time you were a child you could recall vivid details of a life you never lived, a home you had never seen? And what if, decades later, you found out that every detail was real? This is the haunting and extraordinary case of Jenny Cockell, a woman who remembered a past life so vividly that she was able to track down the family she had left behind, decades after her death. But what if, instead of a single person recalling a past life, two children shared memories that seemed to belong to someone else? Two sisters who had died years before they were born. This brings us to the mysterious case of the Pollock twins, often considered one of the most compelling reincarnation stories ever recorded. Unlike Jenny Cockell, who pieced together her past life through years of searching, the Pollock twins, Gillian and Jennifer, began exhibiting knowledge, habits, and even birthmarks linked to their deceased older sisters without any external influence. Their story remains one of the most baffling cases of possible reincarnation ever documented. From the time she was a young girl growing up in England, Jenny Cockell experienced something most of us can't even begin to comprehend. Her dreams were not just fleeting images of fantasy, nor were they the typical imaginings of childhood. They were persistent, vivid, and strangely familiar, recollections of a life she had never lived. She wasn't just dreaming, she was remembering. She imagined the sound of children's voices calling to her, the damp coolness of an ancient stone cottage and cobbled streets. She remembered the smell of wood smoke rising through the air, the sound of rain on a thatched roof, and the weight of grief brought on by a life shortened. In sudden bursts, she was able to piece together names, faces, and places that told a story that did not belong in the present, but rather in a past that surfaced just out of reach. These weren't just fragments of imagination. They felt real, as if she had once walked those streets, lived in that house, and, perhaps most heartbreakingly, left something behind, a family, children, a life she had been forced to abandon. But how could this be possible? Could memory truly transcend death? Or was there another explanation? Jenny remembered being Mary Sutton, a mother in early 20th century Ireland who was suffering hardships. These were deeply embedded, as if they had been chiseled into her very being, rather than merely passing ideas or foggy impressions. She could see herself as Mary, living in a modest cottage with a thatched roof, the scent of peat smoke curling through the air as she toiled tirelessly to provide for her children. She felt Mary's exhaustion, the relentless weight of poverty pressing down on her shoulders. Life had been harsh, filled with long days of labor, worry, and the constant struggle to keep her family fed. But through it all, there was love. She could remember the warmth of small hands grasping hers, the echoes of children's laughter in the cramped home, and the quiet moments of tenderness amid the daily hardships. Jenny recalled the slow, agonizing deterioration of Mary's ailing body, the constant realization that she would not live to see her children grow up, and the agonizing sadness of leaving them behind, knowing they would have to fend for themselves in a world that was often cruel. She was continually plagued by these memories, which made her early dreams painfully depressing. She felt as though she had been Mary Sutton, as though she had lived and died before reviving in a different existence with memories of the past. It was not just a story that was playing out in her head. However, were these merely odd, recurrent dreams? Or was something even more extraordinary taking place? The memories continued to grow as Jenny grew older. Rather, their vividness increased. She remembered the faces of her children, the layout of the house she had lived in, and even the pain of leaving them behind. In an attempt to make sense of it all, she started researching, looking through records, maps, and the bits and pieces of her memories of past lives. Finally, she located the town where Mary Sutton had lived. What she found was astonishing. Mary Sutton was not just a figment of her imagination. She had been a real woman, and even more chilling, Mary's children were still alive. Could Jenny prove to them that she had once been their mother? Jenny reached out to Mary's children who are still alive, who are now old. Unsure of how they would respond to her unbelievable claims, she approached them with caution. Then, however, a noteworthy event occurred. Their suspicions started to fade as she talked about their father, their childhood home, and even small personal facts that an outsider could not know. One of the sons, Sonny, was particularly shaken. Jenny knew things about his mother, about their mother, that no one outside the family could have known. She described the exact way Mary had passed away, the struggles she faced, and even the love she had for her children. It was as if somehow Mary had returned to them. One of the sons, Sonny, was particularly shaken. He had spent his entire life carrying the memories of his mother, her love, her struggles, and most painfully, her absence. Yet here was a woman, a stranger, who spoke of his mother with an intimacy and certainty that sent chills down his spine. Jenny didn't just know Mary Sutton's name, she knew Mary. She spoke of the hardships she had endured, the sacrifices she had made to keep her children safe, and the quiet moments of tenderness that had meant everything in their difficult lives. She remembered the pain of Mary's final days, the illness that had stolen her strength, the fear of leaving her children behind, and the deep sorrow that had settled in her heart as she realized her time was running out. But it wasn't just the way Mary had passed that left Sonny shaken. It was the way Jenny described the love his mother had for him and his siblings, as if she had never truly left. She recounted small, seemingly insignificant details, gestures, words, moments shared only within the walls of their humble home. The kind of memories that couldn't have been found in records or retold by strangers. The kind of memories that belonged to a mother and her children alone. It was as if somehow Mary had returned to them, not as a ghost, but through Jenny. And for Sonny, it was both astonishing and deeply unsettling. Could it really be possible that the mother he had lost so long ago had somehow lived on in the memories of another? The Jenny Cockell case remains one of the most compelling modern accounts of reincarnation. How could she have known such details? Was it a case of extraordinary intuition, a trick of the mind? Or was this undeniable proof that souls can live on, carrying their memories from one life to the next? Jenny Cockell documented her experiences in her book, Yesterday's Children, 1993. Dr. Ian Stevenson, a psychiatrist who studied past life memories in children, found the case compelling but never formally investigated it. Stevenson primarily focused on young children, usually under 7 years old, who spontaneously recalled past life memories, as he believed these cases were less likely to be influenced by external factors. Jenny Cockell, on the other hand, was an adult who had spent years researching her memories before confirming them, which made her case less aligned with Stevenson's strict methodology. By the time Jenny Cockell's book, Yesterday's Children, was published in 1993, Dr. Stevenson was in the later years of his career, and his research focus was already well established. He may have simply chosen to continue investigating cases that fit his methodology rather than pursue a case that had already been widely publicized. While skeptics argue that her knowledge might have come from subconscious cues, detailed research, or even coincidence, others believe Jenny Cockell's case is one of the strongest modern accounts of reincarnation. What do you think? Could Jenny Cockell have really lived before? Or is there another explanation for her extraordinary memories? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you love mysterious and unexplained stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. Until next time, keep questioning everything.